Death Stranding has been an interesting topic to discuss on my channel. It is one of the most popular series of videos on my channel, and I've gotten an assortment of theories from a lot of my viewers. At the end of my last Death Stranding video, I explained I was creating a video to shout out the community's theories that you guys have shared with me. I have collected some of my viewers' original ideas to deliver to you today. Before I begin, I want to politely ask everyone to be considerate and respectful of the theories of others on my channel. And if you don't like or agree with others, keep an open mind and try to be nice. And if you're new here, subscribe for more Death Stranding material. I promise I usually just don't bite, but when I do, thank you for letting me bite you. In the second trailer, we find our main antagonist, Mads Mikkelsen, appearing at the end of the dark tunnel at the end of the trailer. Right before appearing, we find a very watery substance surfacing on the ground of Del Toro's feet. The water is almost proving that it accompanies Mikkelsen wherever he goes. Our viewer, Optimus Prime, has found that this water might resemble the river Styx, the main river to Greek mythical god of the underworld, Hades. The river connects the dividing line between Earth and the underworld, or in other words, the river Styx is the entrance to hell. With this in mind, it is easy to say Mikkelsen's character could resemble to Hades, or a devil-like character like Satan. An interesting detail about the river Styx is that it contains miraculous capabilities. This is the river that Thetis, the goddess of water, dipped her son's body in the river to gain the power of invulnerability. This gave the legend to the Greek hero Achilles. With the exception of his heel, Achilles was immortal. This can also prove that Mikkelsen's character might not only be a godlike figure, but an eternal one. In the last Death Stranding video, I found various amounts of people discussing the handprints found in the first and second trailer. I discussed how these handprints can be wandering souls surviving in the Death Stranding universe, ones that were only seen by their handprints. Our community was discussing how these handprints can be a depiction of us, the players. Sergio explains that the gamers walk with their hands in the games. If gamers are to take the role of otherworldly souls in the game, hand walking would be the most fitting surrealist depiction of that. Although it might sound odd to walk on our hands, it absolutely makes sense. Further analyzing this idea, I thought back to when Kojima mentioned that Death Stranding would include online elements, without explaining how it would be positioned into the game. When he mentioned these online elements, he also mentioned he wanted the game to have links between players, almost making it sound like you can help one another. This made me think that these handprints could be the link. These handprints could resemble the real-time interaction from other players, just like the ghosts of the players in the Souls game series. We might also be able to call upon other players through these handprints. After looking further into the announcement of these online elements, I found something quite interesting. Back in September of 2016, near the announcement of Death Stranding, Kojima announced the online elements of the game at the Tokyo Game Show. At this particular convention, Kojima presented some illustration that accompanied his presentation. One particular picture caught my attention, a picture that would illustrate the connection between the players of the game through hand holding. Going back to an older Death Stranding video I made, in which I discuss a theory called KDR, I talk about how Norman Reedus is connected to Del Toro via their handcuffs. I also explained that these two characters are connected to a center character, Hideo Kojima, the brains of the project. I find it quite amusing that the four characters in the picture are holding hands, as if they are tethered together, or handcuffed together. Keep in mind that this convention was before the release of the second Death Stranding trailer featuring Del Toro, who you can find in this illustration next to Reedus, Kojima, and an unknown fourth character. The fourth character could simply be Mads Mikkelsen, or it could be the player. It might even be any of those damn babies that you've seen in those two trailers. We might somehow see an online connection between these handcuffs as well as the handprints. Although how far could these elements take us? As Kojima has said, the game is an entirely new experience. The next theory is from Carlo Coin. The idea here is that energy never dies in a person or a host. The energy only leaves the host to transport to a new one, as we would all be interconnected. In the Death Stranding universe, we might be seeing a bridge between past, present, future energy that connects all together. This bridge has grown to be the future of technology, in which establishes various parallel universes in the timeline. This could explain why past energy has brought an undead army of World War II soldiers back to life. Think of a fork in a road and imagine that road being a wormhole that allows time travel from one place to another. The fork being similar to an exit on a highway would be the bridge that connects the two pathways but separating the different outcomes. There are a lot of similarities in the first two trailers which can point to a parallel dimension, such as the handcuffs connecting Reedus and Del Toro. The energy and souls of others could be the traveling handprints in both the trailers. Carlo goes on explaining how the inventor of this technology could possibly possibly be Del Toro and is running away from the organization he was once a part of. On Del Toro's jacket, a badge that reads Bridges might reveal the organization that is in question. The surgical scar on his head might explain a procedure to transport his energy into a younger body to keep himself stable and safe. In my last video I asked you guys what you guys think Mads Mikkelsen's character is. Sergio found an interesting glimpse of Byzantine iconography, interpreted from Mikkelsen himself. Centuries beyond centuries ago, the Byzantine Empire, or in other words the Eastern Roman Empire, constructed artistic pictures that narrated scenes of Jesus Christ through various works of art. Sergio found Mikkelsen's character representing what looks like Jesus in these Byzantine pieces a couple of times in the last few minutes of the trailer. The first time is when Mads raises his goggles, in which he has his palm open and facing the sky, which is surrounded by a halo rainbow. The pose only lasts a second and is very easy to miss, but resembles this culture very closely. The second time is immediately after, when Mads puts his finger across his lips, which resembles secrecy in the Gospels. Kojima has seemed to hide a lot of hints in these trailers. Religion might be a large one for this second trailer. In a past Death Stranding video of mine, I discussed the upside down rainbow, which could resemble God's bow facing down against humanity. I'll put a card up above for you guys so you can take a closer look at that theory. It might be hard to say what Kojima is presenting in his Death Stranding trailers. It is interesting to find out how deep he plans on going with this project. If you believe you have an idea or theory on Death Stranding that you would like to share, let me know in the comments and I would love to post a video on it. Look in the description to find out how you can submit your original thoughts. I always enjoy seeing the ideas you guys come up with. Thanks for everyone for submitting and sharing your theories with our community. If you guys enjoyed and you want to see more theory shoutouts in the future, like the video. To stay informed for future shoutouts and find out what I actually do in my free time, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you again, friends. I'll be seeing you in those comments.